All right, what is up, everybody? This is Rance, aka Darth Lugia, and welcome to the Kevin Ryan Ultimate Beginner's Guide. So, this is a guide that's going to go ahead and go through all of Kevin's specials and normals and pretty much everything that you need to know about the character. If you are just starting the game and you want to see if you want to pick up Kevin, then it's a great place to start. But we'll also be going through some more complex things, such as Oki, frame kills, combos, right? All the important stuff that you kind of want to enjoy when you're using the character. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Oh, and there's going to be timestamps in the description. So follow those timestamps. If you want to just get to the cool stuff, the combos, the Oki setups, go ahead and find those. If you want to get a foundational basis for the character, though, then start at the beginning right now. Now, if you're just jumping into the video right now and you're unsure if you should play Kevin, right? Why would you pick Kevin? Let me show you a pretty good reason why you should pick Kevin. Pretty casual 630 damage. Yeah, Kevin freaking hurts, man. The cop hurts. So if that's a very, very good reason. That was without even a jump in, right? That was not even getting a jump in attack before this. We give him more damage if we do a jump in before. You can just kind of see just how ridiculous this guy's damage is. This is not even quite optimal. It's close. It's close to optimal. But you get about 700 damage, 70% with a single touch, which means he's probably the most consistent two-touch character in the game. Later in the video, I'll go over some two-touch scenarios, but just be aware that he's got some fantastic setups to get two combos and get a kill on the opponent. So that's a pretty good reason to play him. Another great reason to play him is this little buddy right here, Marky. Marky follows Kevin to not every stage. There's a couple dangerous stages where he doesn't show up. But Marky is Kevin's not ex-partner, I guess his partner died. Marky is Kevin's last partner's son, right? So his partner was killed in action, and then Kevin essentially adopted Marky, his partner's son, Marky, to take care of him. So you get the buff just by having someone cheer for you all the time, which is really cool. And if you win a round, then Marky cheers even more. If you lose a round, then Marky throws his helmet up in the air and gets really sad and is frustrated with you. He'll say little things throughout it too. Like if you get a big combo, then you might hear Marky say something. Get him, right? He's just cheering you on. So fun little extra thing, right? However, if you want to actually know why you should play the character besides the big damage and Marky, let's go through what kind of defines the character. We're going to start with his special moves. So his special moves first. For Kevin, the most important special move, in my opinion, is his quarter circle forward kick series, Hell Sweep, right? It's called Hell Sweep. This is not a low, even if it looks like a low. He's got a light version, he's got a heavy version, and he's got an EX version, okay? Now, the reason this move is so important is because it is his primary combo starter, right? If you get any close heavy attack, you get any, even crouching heavy punch, right, as well. We'll go through his normals later to kind of know which ones are cancelable and which ones are not. This move will come out, and if you break it on this hit, right when the Hell Sweep hits them, it's a launcher, and then you can get a lot of other things directly afterwards. So that's why this move is so valuable, is because it is paramount to his combo game. So as a very easy example, right, let's keep things as simple as possible. Let's say I want to do a short combo, meterless. I can do the heavy break, like I just did, and then the light afterwards, just for a nice 24%, right, 240 damage, not bad. You can do more than that, because you can go for the heavy break, the EX break, and then the light afterwards, a little bit more damage. And obviously you can use this for a ton of other situations, right? Ton of other situations. But typically, if you're close to the opponent, right, this is your big combo starter, which allows you to get all of the really, really cool stuff that I was showing earlier in the video. Right? So Hell Sweep is absolutely your most important tool. And the great thing about it is that in this game, this is the case for many characters, is that while this is his launcher, if you break it, it is safe on block. So I'm going to set Kine to guard here, okay? I'm going to set him to guard. And you'll see that if I throw this out and I don't break it, I'm minus 32. I'm dead, right? I'm simply dead. However, if I break it here, minus 2. It is literally safe on block, even though it's his primary combo starter. So very, very useful to where if you want to just kind of catch the opponent pressing a button, you think that they're going to try and jump or something, after your pressure, you throw this out. If it hits, you get your full combo. Now, that's the heavy version. As I said, the light version cannot be canceled. However, the EX version can be broke in the beginning, and if you break it, it's actually plus on block. So take a look at my frame data on the top left. You'll see that I have a -2 on the very bottom, -2, right, with the heavy version. With the EX version, it is +1, right? This move becomes +1, which is really good, really good. That means you're pretty close, right? You're close. You still get a stand far light, right, at 6 frames, which can trade or beat a lot of other moves at that rate. But it's a great way to potentially get your opponent stuck into your plus frame, stuck into your pressure. You do something like this, you do something like this, and then go for another one, right, for more plus frames. Do something like this into this for more plus frames as well. Lots of potential options here. So this move is definitely, if you are doing a combo and you haven't already done the Hell Sweep, you want to do the Hell Sweep. Okay, most important move in my opinion. Now, Kevin's second most important special move is his Hell Rotor. This is quarter circle back and punch series. Now, the light and heavy versions work quite a bit differently. So the light version is -6 on block if you don't charge it. The heavy version is an overhead and is -8 on block. So higher risk for sure, but higher reward, because if the opponent is set to go ahead and crouch block, then this will down them. You'll get a you get +63. Obviously they can roll and stuff, but it's a great little mix-up tool to throw in going for the heavy version. Now the EX version does both hits, and even though it looks like an overhead, it is not an overhead starter. Do not think it's an overhead beginner. That's not the purpose of the EX version. It's a really good combo fodder tool. I'll show you in a second. Now, the most unique part of these 3 moves is that every one of them can be charged. So you'll see here, I'll go like this, and Kevin will start to like move a little bit, right? And there's a point where the move just simply comes out. But he kind of like prepares his fist, right? Boom. And then now you see I'm only -2 as opposed to -6 if I get like the full charge. And even if I get just a minimal charge, right? Like I'm holding it for a very short period of time. Like as long as I get into that animation where he starts to reel back, then it'll be safe on block. Same with the overhead. Overhead is the exact same. It has the exact same starting animation, which is nice. And if they go ahead and block this normally, then this also will not be punishable on block. It'll only be -3. However, where this comes in really, really good handy is when you... Oh, yes, and you can charge this too. This is really good for like situations where you can get a combo and you launch them and you charge this, get some extra damage to extend your combo. Now, where this move really shines is this. So I showed you it on block. Let me go ahead and show you it on hit. So on hit, you're +4, which means you can do something like, you know, a light confirm into it, right? Like 2 lights into it, you're +4. You do like a dash up grab or something like that, if they're not ready for it, right? Or again, you're +4, just throw it like your heavy punch, right? Throw your heavy punch, or maybe even a sweep if you think they're going to be trying to challenge you after that. So that's really good. Now, on counter hits is where this move really starts to shine. So if you get a uncharged counter hit, right, you're +9, and that means you can get a lot of different moves from Kevin. So, easy example, right? Let's say that you're point blank, bam, you just get a stand light into the light hell sweep, right? That always works, right? As long as you're close enough for the stand light to connect, okay? So you're a little bit further away, you can't get your stand lights, but you could get your stand light punch, I should say. You could get your stand light kick, because your stand light kick is 7 frames. So, if I'm a little bit further away, I can get that at least. And if you can get your stand light kick, then something you'll learn pretty soon with this character is that his far kick is amazing, and it's also super cancelable. So it might take me a try or two, but let's see if I can hit this. Yep, there you go. You can go ahead and get a very easy, very high damage combo just by confirming that this is a counter hit. Now, most ranges, you'll be able to get your stand light kick, right? Like even from back here, I can still get my stand light kick, right? It's just a matter of canceling, and the window is a little bit tighter because of how far away you are. But still a very, very possible thing. There we go. And yeah, you just get your combo after that. So on without charge, that's the counter hit. With charge, this becomes Kevin's best kind of bait option in neutral. So let me show you what I mean, right? So if I don't charge it, there's stand. If I charge it for even a second, then I get this giant launch animation, right? As soon as you enter into technically charging it, they will launch. It'll say big counter hit. It'll like crack the screen a little bit, you know, where you hit them. And then it is your turn to get whatever you want in a combo. So it can be as simple as something like this in a combo, right? That is 262 damage. That's not bad. If you don't want to spend any resources, just do another Hell Rotor, right? Just charge it, let it rock again. 283, it's got some great corner push as well, right? However, this becomes really good once you start spending your rev meter. So say I charge it, I can dash forward, get a full launch, and get even more damage off of this. Just an example, this is not optimal. This is just showing you kind of what your beginning options are, right? And so you hit this, you can get something like a charge one of these as well, depending on spacing. Right? And you just kind of build your own combo after that. So this is a counter hit you want to be ready for, because you can get it from really far away. And if you get it from far away, that's okay. You just have to be ready to pick up the confirm. Another option, you got your super afterwards, right? Either of your supers afterwards if you don't have any rev meter. So phenomenal. This is a fantastic poke. Counter tool option. Since it's -6 on block, people are not going to be able to block it if you are spacing it correctly. Now the heavy version, even without charging, still gets the launch, right? The launch is pretty much the same. Slight difference, but even without charging it, if you get this counter hit, then you can get your full combo starter afterwards. Now this is not the case. Oh, it is the case for this one. Now it is the case for this move, but you have to actually rev cancel or break the first hit. So break is me pressing the rev button as the first hit of this move comes out, right? I press the rev button, I was able to break it, so that means I'm able to, instead of just letting the whole thing rock, which I don't get a pure launcher off of that necessarily, I can break the first hit, and now it's launched just like the other moves. Now this actually, real quick, this one works as a launcher even without counter hit. So let me show you this. So, like I mentioned before, a decent combo would be something like this, right? Bam, 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 bam. 308 damage. This gives you 82 frames of plus advantage, which is very good. However, if you are high on your rev gauge, right? If your rev gauge is really high and you don't have the confidence in canceling this into this, because that costs 31, okay? Instead, something you can do is go for this. So if I go ahead and I go to my character here, and I put my rev meter at 75%, okay? So usually this combo would put me into burnout, right? Which I do not want. This would put me into burnout. Instead, you could do something like this. You can actually hit this first, right? Which gives you a little bit more damage than just doing this combo by itself, right? 231 compared to 241 as a previous hit. Or you can break here like this and then get a small combo afterwards. Right, you get a small combo afterwards. Again, for a tiny bit more damage, you're just looking to kind of optimize your stuff. It's cool that on any hit, this kind of gives you a mini launch, right? Not a huge launch, but a mini launch that you can utilize to get pretty much most of your specials as well as both of your supers afterwards, right? So just a nice little thing. If you rev cancel the beginning, then it can also mix up the opponent. Because on block, this move is plus on block if you rev cancel the first hit. So opponent, we will set to guard. If I let it all rock, it's -6, just like if I just ended with this. However, if I break the first part, I am +3, right? I'm +3. So if I, have the opponent try and press something and I press a button that's faster, then I'm going to beat him out, which is a really, really nice tool. Let me actually get something set up for you just so you can see an example. Okay, so right now we have Kine set up to every time that he blocks something, as soon as he can, he's going to throw out his stand heavy punch. Great freaking button. 8 frames and has pretty decent range. Now, we're going to do our plus frames, which will be +3. So as long as we do any move that is 11 frames or faster, right? 10 frames, 9 frames, 8 frames, we'll be able to beat what move he does. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel. I'm going to go ahead and go for this on block. And I'm going to mash my stand heavy punch. Right? Mine was 9 frames, his was 8 frames, but because I was +3, I was able to beat him out, right? You can do this for a lot of options, right? You have your forward light kicks, which is really good, because this leads into a small combo, right? If you know they're going to press, if you absolutely know they're going to press, you can go for your feint attack, your dodge attack, right? Get a wild punish and get a full combo after that. So I went for the wrong button. Let me do it one more time. Right? Get a full combo after that if you so choose. So, great move to throw in block strings. Does a good amount of chip damage as well as a good amount of guard break damage. So definitely be using the broke version of this, so that way you can trap the opponent and get some counter hits on them. Now, the other more important thing about this move is that it is his default break attack. So if you just press Rev and Heavy Kick, then you're going to be going into the beginning of your animation for this. Right, for the oh gosh, the hell attack. They're all hell rotor. That's what it's called. So that's important to know. Now, as soon as you start this move, at any point in the animation, you can cancel. See, I'm pressing. In my case, I'm just going to press my macro for both kicks because that's faster for me. But you can press any kick button to cancel, right? As soon as you start the animation, and this is with any of them, right? You can even cancel this if you want. So. You could, like, if I set him to not reverse and just block, you do something like this. Right? You'd be +3 there, or instead, you could do this. Like that, as an example, right? You could cancel the very beginning of this, go for a grab. Right? Especially since he has a command grab, so that's actually pretty cool to go for something like this. They think an attack's coming, instead you get to grab them afterwards. So lots of applications for this move. This is also one of your, this is kind of your primary combo extender, sometimes even combo ender, depending on what you want for your Oki setup. But for example, if you ever hit this, you can just go straight into this, and then you're exactly +82. They can't roll away. This gives you crazy, crazy setups, which I'll go through more in detail, but as a quick example, right? I'm +6 in their face. You can make that even better, right? So as an example, I just get this in a combo. You can do something like jump, light punch, and then boom, +8, right? Which means you can get, after +8, you can obviously get your close heavy punch and other stuff after that. So really good combo ender, and also a combo extender, because you can do like this, right? Bam, bam, into it, into another special, get a launch afterwards, and kind of continue your crazy Kevin Ryan nonsense. But let's keep going with the special moves, because he's got a lot more. Okay, next let's talk about his Hell Snipes. This is quarter circle forward and punches. He's got the light version, looks like that. Heavy version looks like that. And then the Rev version goes the same distance as the light, just a little bit faster and does a little bit more damage. So this move is nothing crazy on its own, nothing like too wild. It's a pretty good throw bait, however. So if, Kine like wakes up and throws. So for example, right, like it's a decent move to where, let's say that I'm just far away. I make him block and I go for it. I get a wild punish and I'm plus enough to get a follow-up afterwards. Right? Simple follow-up, but you could get more than that. But just, simple and good to go for. You get something like this as well, which is beautiful, off of just a special move starter. But yeah, it's kind of like, it doesn't go over projectiles is something to consider. It does not go over standard projectiles.
Not quite.
Okay, so it does not go over standard projectiles. What I mean by that is any projectiles that are like above the knee. So for example, right, I'm gonna get counter hit if I try and go for it. It does jump up in the air, but Kevin is a big boy. And so you cannot just use this to get around projectiles. He's got a different tool that can do that we'll talk about in just a second. But just be aware, it doesn't go over projectiles like that, but it does go over projectiles that go across the ground, such as Terries or rocks. Right, boom, wild punish. And as you can see, I'm +8. So I can get, again, pretty much anything I want after that, which is very, very nice. So, not too much more to say about it. In all honesty, one of the other important things is that on block, it's safe, right? It's -3, all versions, or -3 and -2, depending on the version you go for. And then the other important thing is that the EX version, the Rev version, is actually plus. So you get a lot of plus frames if you go for this, go for this, go for this, right? These are all different plus frames that you can get with Kevin. And pretty good spacing as well. So in a combo, you can throw it at the end of some combos. Like, for example, at the end of this, you just rev cancel into that. And this gives you an even easier Oki timing, in my opinion, than the other timing we've already showed. You do like a sweep for a kill, frame kill, and then boom, I'm +8 afterwards. If you go for the that move that we'll get into in a second too. So yeah, decent move. Nothing too special to say about it though. All right, next let's talk about his move to avoid projectiles, which is his avoid mine. So he rolls on the ground. The light version and medium version, light and heavy, are exactly the same from what I can tell. The frame data, I'm not seeing any difference in the frame data. The travel distance isn't different as well. The biggest difference is in the EX version, because you recover significantly quicker than this. So if the opponent does any type of projectile, this can roll through the projectile. Now, it's a specific timing. You can't go too early, nor can you like go too late, right? So if I see it coming, oh, right, that was me trying to hit it, right? I got blown up. If I see it come out though, I can roll and then boom, I'm +3 in their face in that example. With the EX version, you recover so much quicker and you can't technically cancel it outside of rev canceling, but you can get a lot of like very quick moves right after you perform it. Right, so for example, I got a full wild punish off of that, which is pretty good, pretty dang good. So it can go through grounded projectiles, it can go through air projectiles. It is a great tool to utilize, but it is expensive, right? Like, you know, that cost me 19% when I'm in SPG. Usually it costs 25% if you're not in SPG. So very excellent tool to have, but it is necessary to use it in the right moments, right? When you're confident you're going to get around your opponent's nonsense, that's when you want to use it, okay? Now, it's really good in the fact that the EX version can swap sides, so you can steal the corner from your opponent, which is phenomenal. Very easy example, steal the corner, throw them back into the corner, right? Steal the corner, go for your close heavy kick, because it comes out pretty fast after you wake up, right? It's pretty immediate. Steal the corner, go for command grab. All kinds of different opportunities and examples you can use with this move. I'll show you some cool Oki setups later. Very brief Oki Zeme example though. Let me show you this, just because this is the one that I use and it's really consistent. Boom, you just got another full combo just for spending 25% to 19% of your bar, but still really, really sick. Okay, a couple more special moves. Let's talk about his command grab. So it's DP motion forward and kick. The light version and the heavy version are exactly the same. The EX version comes out faster but does less base damage. However, Kevin is a character who can combo off his command grab. So you do something very simple like this, right? You get more damage, therefore, than you would just begin the regular command grab. Obviously, you can cancel it into supers because it's so fun and Kevin can just do it. But yeah, so his command grab's really good. Something good to know about his command grab, a good trick, is that if you hit it, just dash forward twice. And I'm not even pressing any other buttons. I'm holding the forward button and the rev button. And that allows me, since Kevin has a dash and not a run, that allows me to just dash forward as fast as I possibly can without some, like, there's some cancels you can do to go faster, but I'm not going to mess with that timing right now. If you hit a command grab and you dash forward twice, I am +6 in their face. So it's my turn to do whatever mix-up I want yet again. So 1, 2, boom. Hit him with a stand heavy punch or something like that. Stand heavy kick or something like that. Or you have to delay it very, very slightly. Bam, bam, another command grab. Bam, bam, another command grab. Bam, bam, another command grab. Right? Really, really cool and pretty belligerent mix-up. And then obviously they could like wake up DP. Bam, bam, block. Right? You just sit there and block so that you eat their DP and you absolutely destroy them once they come back down to the ground. Next move is his Hell Drops. This is DP motion and punches. And this one's really interesting. So it's really good in combos especially, is where you'll see it used the most, right? After this move, you can go into it, and then they're launched, right? Which is really nice. It does have a couple of other uses, though, in that it can actually mix up the opponent. So the light version kind of stays on the same side, hits on the same side, okay? The heavy version can cross them up, right? You see the cross up comes out, which is really, really good, right? Very good tool. Now, if it does cross up, it's only +2 on hit. It's not a lot of damage, so it's not a big deal, except if it counter hits, right? If it counter hits or gets a wild punch, the frame data changes to where now you get a whole animation, right? It's +7. And 7 is a magic number for Kevin, because it means you get your full normal combo route afterwards, okay? So you might want to be throwing this out every once in a while, because even if it doesn't cross up, you still get that counter hit, right? So very useful tool to just kind of throw in your mix-up. Now on Wild Punish, it is also +7, but you don't get the same animation, like the same sound animation you get on a counter hit. So just be aware of that. Now the EX version, right? EX version is one of those situations where it looks like it's supposed to cross up, but kind of doesn't, because it kind of stays too close to the ground to actually get over their body, unless they like dash forward or roll forward or like something like that. However, this version is +10 on block. So if you're really, really close to him, you can get your stand heavy kick, cancel, and then get an even bigger combo afterwards, which is really, really nice. So good mix-up tool, good combo tool. Just a move that a lot of Kevins aren't using right now. It is reactable, so it's not something that you're going to be like, you know, using a ton of the time. But if you do utilize it and you confirm your wild punishes or your counter hits, you're to get great, great damage off of it. Okay, next move we have is his Creeper. It should be called Crawler. That's funny, but that's called Creeper, but it is. So this is down, down kicks. So you see I'll do down, down light kick or down, down heavy kick. Doesn't matter. Does the exact same thing. And you have 3 follow-ups out of this. So first off, this gets blown up by projectiles, right? If they're on the ground. If they're airborne projectiles, you can actually go underneath them, which is a neat little extra tidbit about this move. Right? You can just go right underneath projectiles, which is pretty fun. In case someone's dumb and tries to throw a projectile on you, you know, then you can actually like just go underneath it and get a full punish afterwards. So that's just a neat little thing, is that it can go under projectiles. However, the best use of it is that you have 3 different follow-ups. So if you do Creeper into any light button, you'll just cancel out a Creeper. And it's pretty quick, right? So very, very quick. So it's a really good fake out for your opponents. Right, you can kind of fake them out. You can make them think that you're going to go for an attack and then just stop and block and be safe afterwards. So that's a really good option, either of your light buttons. Now, if you do heavy punch, you go for a low attack. Okay, heavy punch goes for a low attack. Now, the crazy thing about this low attack is that it is special move cancelable. So that means that you go into Creeper, go for your low, you get your whole combo game started up immediately, right? Which is pretty damn nuts. And you can go into EX moves, right? You can go into supers if you want. Like, I don't know why you would, but like you can go into supers. I guess it wouldn't be bad if you want to like guard break or something like that. So just an option, right? An option that you have is you can go into supers. And there's a pretty big window to cancel. Now, the other option, right, is your overhead. So this is heavy kick once you enter creeper, right? So I'm just mashing on heavy kick, and typically this is +3, right? Most situations that you're going to see this move is not going to be typical, right? You're not going to see this be +3 because often you get a counter hit, you get a wild punish, or you'll get an Oki setup, and this hits very, very meaty, and you get more frames, so you can get like full combos. So let me just show you on block real quick because that's important for this move. So this is punishable on block. Let's have him crouch, right? -11. So it's cancelable though, so you can keep it safe by going for like that. Or even like try and mix them up by going for, you know, your big jumping attack. Or even, you know, this, right? Whatever you want to do. The overhead is not punishable. Overhead is like -2, right? Overhead is -2. So good amount of chip damage, or good amount of rev guard damage, right? You see them doing like 9% of their rev guard every time they block this. Pretty great, right? Because it's such a hefty button. So that's nice. But the other great option is that once you get the opponent down, you can time this move to where it hits them and gives you more than 3 frames of advantage, meaning you get a full combo. Let me show you an example. All right, this is one of the simplest examples. I'll go into the detail a little bit later because this is this is an Oki part of this the video. But I was +8 there, right? I'm +8, and if I'm +8, I get my stand close heavy punch. Right? That comboed. Yep, on the second hit, it comboed. So you can very, very easily get crazy, crazy amount of damage by mixing in this. Now, I don't want to show you too much because that is reserved for the Oki part of the video, right? Go check out that timestamp and look at the rest of the Oki setups if you want to. But this move is phenomenal on Wake Up because you can go for the overhead, you can go for the low, you can go for nothing, and you can bait out like a DP and then block them, right? Or nothing and then just go for a grab, right? Lots of great options. Okay, so that's Kevin's specials. Let's talk about his normals. We'll go through each of his normals. Won't spend as much time on all of them, but I'll just go through each of them. So we'll start with the standing light punch, right? 4 frames. This is his only 4-frame attack. You have to be very close for this to be a close light, right? Even if I'm here, it changes to far light, right? But you can link it into 3 light attacks just for like a simple combo. Crouching light is 5 frames. You can also link this into other light attacks, right? You can go for something like this as an example. I'll do this a lot. Okay? But 5 frames, right? 5 frames. Now, if you go for the close light kick, right? Close light kick is his kind of one of his best combo starter buttons. This is 7 frames of advantage on hit, right? It's +3 on block. It's 7 frames of advantage on hit. If it's 7 frames and if you hit it, you're close enough in almost every situation to get your close heavy punch, which is 7 frames, into a combo. Right? It's tight. It's a 1 frame. But you can get it consistently once you start practicing. Right? Get it pretty consistently once you start practicing. This means that off of pretty much any jump-in attack, right? Like a jump light kick, right? Oh, it's only +6. Oh, I can't get my like heavy attacks. That's fine. Because instead, even that's +5, right? I'm really, really high up. I can't make this less than +5. Right now, at least. I can't make this less than +5. So even off of that, you just go straight into this, and then you're +7. And then boom, got your whole combo game set up afterwards. Really, really great, right? Really, really great. So this is a move you want to be using all the time. Okay. For the rest of his light attacks, we'll go for crouching light kick. It's a low, so you can go crouching light kick and crouching light punch as an example. Now for far light attacks, this is his far light punch. It's 6 frames. If this hits, you always get the light hell sweep, right? If this hits anywhere, you always get the light hell sweep, pretty much guaranteed. Maybe counter hit or wild punish situations might be slightly different. They might get pushed away, maybe. But if this hits, this is just one of the easiest ways to get some guaranteed damage, okay? If you're too far away, you cannot get Hell Rotor, But if you're close enough, then you can. Right? Just depends on the distance specifically. That's the biggest issue with this one, is the distance to cancel the Hell Rotor. But decent. Now, his far light kick, right? His far light kick. We're doing all his lights first, then his heavies after. Is 7 frames, and it's only super cancelable. So you can cancel it into either of your supers. Timing is just, you know, takes you some time to get used to. But it's good. Because it's 7 frames and it's far away, you can pretty much always get something like a pretty simple launcher into, you know, continued pressure afterwards. So great poke, right? If someone has a -7 move and you're unsure if you're close enough to get, you know, like your light kick, since this has such a short range, then this is a decent combo starter. Okay, those are his standing and crouching light attacks. Now let's go into his close heavy attacks. So like we've already talked about, his close heavy punch is always going to be your main go-to to cancel into his combo starter, okay? Typically, this is what you're going to be canceling into your combo starter. And the range goes to about here, right? That's still close heavy punch. But as you just saw when I got to about here, it turns into far heavy punch. So you just have to figure out, you know, kind of get used to the range. Now, close heavy kick is unique in that it's 8 frame startup, which is pretty good for a close heavy. But if you break it, you are now +7. So this is where Kevin's combo game really takes off, is close heavy kick, break into close heavy punch. Right? See that comboed. See that comboed. See that comboed, and I get a full launcher afterwards. So if you're close enough to get a close heavy kick, you can break it and get your close heavy punch afterwards. Now this is great too, because on block, usually this is -1. If I break it, if I feint it, right, +3. So even on block or hit, it's auto timing. You almost always want to be doing this, right? You want to just automatically go for your heavy kick into the break. Heavy kick into break pretty much every single time. Because you'll either confirm into a combo or you'll go into plus frames and get to go for more options afterwards. Okay? So those are his 2 close attacks. His far heavy attacks are 9 frames and 11 frames. So this is his close heavy, his far heavy punch. This is also super cancelable, right? As his far heavy kick. But yeah, very, very good, very, very far range moves that you can go and cancel into his high damaging supers. Now, this will whiff on crouching opponents. So if he is crouching, he's not even blocking right now, by the way, right? You'll see if I'm close, it'll hit him from about here. But this can pretty easily whiff on crouching opponents. But it does do a pretty good job against jumping opponents, right? You see from pretty good distances, I get this as an anti-air. So not like, it doesn't have any invincibility or anything. It's just that it covers a perfect anti-air space for some jumps, right? For some jumps. Sometimes I get the close heavy, they're too close. But yeah. Now, the other thing that's important about these 2 moves is if you get, like a counter hit, right? It's +8, so you can't get too much except for just straight into like a super afterwards, or something like that, or maybe like a stand light kick into super. You know, you can get that as well. Same with this one. It's also +8, but you have a little bit more recovery, and then go further away, so it's a little bit harder to get a follow up off of this one. However, on Wild Punish, these really shine because these are his big like staggerable Wild Punish attacks. Right? So if you see this, you can just dash forward and get whatever combo you want afterwards. So if you see something like this happen, you just dash forward, get your full combo afterwards. Same with stand heavy punch. Right? You can get a full combo after that as well. Now, he's got 2 command normals. And let's talk about his heavy command normal first. This is crouching heavy punch. Now, this is really, really good, because it has a little bit more range than his close heavy punch, right? His close heavy punch is about, there or so. And it's cancelable. This is cancelable into special moves no matter how far away you are. So this is like the most beginner-friendly normal that Kevin has. It's a little bit slower than his other heavy attacks, right? A little bit slower than most of his other heavy attacks. However, since it's always cancelable, and if you're simply unsure about your spacing, if you don't know like proximity-wise, if you're going to get far heavy punch or if you're going to get close heavy punch, but if you know you're close enough to get this, right, because you can get it from all the way like back here, right, which is pretty dang far, you can simply go for this, right, and then get your punish afterwards. A little bit less damage, but a lot more consistency, especially when you're learning the character early on. This is especially true for something like a wild punish like we just showed. This move, because it's so far reaching, I can't get up close and get necessarily a guaranteed close heavy punch every time, right? See, I got a far heavy punch. However, in almost every situation, if you see this, boom, you get dash forward and cancel your dash forward into your down attack, into your down heavy punch, right? Boom, I get a full combo still. So it's very, very excellent if you are simply not positive about the spacing on your normals. Go for this attack because the range is good and you are able to cancel it into anything you want. Now, his other command normal is forward light kick. I'm only pressing it once, right? However, it always has 2 kicks come out no matter what. So if they jump over it, it's bad because they just jumped over it and you're just kind of stuck, right? However, usually it's +4 on hit. You can get a command grab after to kind of a frame trap command grab, right? If they just stand there, then you can get a command grab pretty easily. However, it really shines when you get it on counter or wild punish because instead of +4, we get to +6. And if it's +6, we get far light punch, if they're close enough, of course, into our easy combo. You get crouching light punch into far light punch for another combo, or my personal favorite, this one, right, to get your combo like launcher. So pretty cool, pretty cool. It's a good tool to, like, you know, if you get close and you kind of like backdash, make him whiff a grab, but you're unsure about the timing on something, you can throw this out just to get some little easy guaranteed damage. It's nothing great, nothing special, but it is nice. It's a very, very nice tool to have. So those are his standing normals. His air attacks are jump light punch. We have, after that, jump light kick. This one's really good for linking into his stand light kick, and this is his cross up, right? Jumping light kick is his only cross up air normal. None of his other ones will cross up. They might look like they do, but they will not, right? So this is what you want to be going for if you're going for a cross up attack, okay? Jump light kick. Jump heavy, punch. This is the move where he gets the most straight up damage off of a jump attack, right? 93 as opposed to like 82. And the plus frames tend to be higher on this one. And then jump heavy kick, right? The range on this horizontally is very, very, very good. So if someone like throws a projectile and you want to run at them, it's often that you're going to be going for your jump heavy kick because just like this thing moves just so far forward. So really, really nice air normals, I think. They're pretty good. And these definitely your like air-to-air attacks are your lights, right? Now, still have a couple more things before we get into his general game plan. We have his Rev Blow. This is his normal Rev Blow. It's good as an anti-projectile tool, right? At about half screen or so, you know, you can use it to call out and get through projectiles, right? That's probably its best base use. And obviously, like every Rev Blow, it destroys projectiles, right? That's probably its base use, but it's nothing like too special outside of that. His air Rev Blow looks like this. Okay, now this is weird. I don't like this Rev Blow because it can activate too high up to where the move kind of happens before it touches the opponent, right? Like if Kine was like, if he was like crouching, like this might not hit. You know what I mean? You can cancel it very late though. You can cancel it pretty much right there, but as you'll see, you can also cross them over, which is kind of often what you don't want because then you're kind of stuck at -28 on the other side of them. So it's cool. It's not my favorite. It's not anything special. but it's fine. And just like every other one, if you get it on counter hit, right, you get to dash forward and get your big old combo afterwards. Same with this version. You get the same launcher. If they're grounded, then you get the same, you know, this thing. But if they're in the air, then you're able to get like the same launcher you get off of this counter hit, right? It looks exactly the same as this. So not bad. And then last but not least, this is very, very important to Kevin. We have his dodge attacks, right? So this one dodges the lows. This one dodges the highs, right? Just like every other one, it's an overhead. He jumps up in the air for this one. So it can get over like grabs or like low attacks. If the opponent tries to grab or low you, it just jumps right over it, which is pretty nice. Now, what's really important for Kevin is this one, the high dodge attack, as in it dodges high attacks. So this is his primary anti-air tool. He does not have a DP, right? So this is the main thing you're going to be using if someone jumps on you, and it's pretty damn good if someone jumps on you. So we're going to have Kine go for a jump at us. Right? And we are able to just simply hit him with that. If it's no counter hit, you don't get anything, right? Just this. However, usually you're going to be doing a jump in attack, in which case you will get a counter hit. And if so, you get to combo either into something simple like that. You can combo into his launcher based on the height, right? So that height won't work, but something a little bit lower like this will work, right? You get a full combo afterwards. And then this also works against Rev Blows. So if the opponent goes for a Rev Blow, you can go for your high dodge attack and cancel it and get a full combo after that as well. So this is very, very important tool to be utilizing for Kevin. This is your down, rev, and heavy punch. Please put this on a macro. Like if you are on pad like I am, like I cannot imagine trying to do this move without being on a macro. It's really just awkward and sucky. So it's a little bit tough to do for like cross-ups, right? You see I'm getting it there, but it's a little bit tough to do kind of consistently. But yeah, so those are his dodge attacks. Okay, and before we get into his combos, let me show you what his auto combo looks like. So just like every other character, it's light punch, heavy punch. And you can either do a second heavy punch or go directly into heavy kick. Right? That's what it looks like. You can end it in the overhead, or you can end it in the low. Or if you are in SPG, end it in your Rev Blow to get a little bit more damage and get some guaranteed Oki afterwards. So nothing crazy. I don't go for his auto combo too often, but it's a good mix-up tool because if they block the overhead, you're plus on block. So that's a great option to go for if you're really close and just want to get an easy kind of mix-up. Okay, so that was his normals, his specials, and now let's talk about the reason I picked up the character, which are his super moves. So his double quarter circle forward and light punch is his kind of typical invincible wake-up move. It's good. Like, it leaves you with really good Oki afterwards. You can just dash forward 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're plus 4 in their face. So really, really good for like a combo ender, or if you want to wake up. This is his only invincible option. What makes this bad is that it's very easy to jump over. If someone jumps over it, you will do the entire whiffed animation like this. So they can run it behind you and get a full wild punish combo starter on you. So you're going to pay a lot if you do this on block or on whiff. That's his level 1 version. His level 2 version, which is double curl circle forward and heavy punch, is slightly starter. It's a frame, slightly faster. It's a frame faster, and just does more damage. Nothing too crazy about it, but it's cool. He pulls out like a shotgun shell and he kisses it. Then he punches you with shotgun shells. That's pretty hype. Now, where the character gets really fun and where the character is very unique is his kick supers. So you've already seen me use these a couple times in the video, but these are straight up launchers. So what's optimal for Kevin is different from a lot of characters. You want to do his kick super kind of in the middle of the combo, or maybe even at the beginning, because it allows you to get more damage than if you just go for his punch super. So very simple example. Let's go for our heavy into launch, and we'll go for our punch super, right? That was 358 damage. Not bad. Let's go for the exact same thing, but our kick super instead, and we'll just do a hell rotor afterwards. Charge hell rotor, 396 already with no extra effort. That gives us like 40 more damage. Now, if you hit this, you can go straight into like the overhead for a knockdown, right? You can go into the charged attack, right? Or, as you probably should be doing in most situations, you can go for your EX moves, which you can then rev cancel into each other for some crazy, crazy combo damage. So something like this, into like this, into this, and just go for your punch super after that. So that super is a freaking blast. One of my favorite things is this. If you're in the corner, you can charge this and get the punch super afterwards, right? And if you don't have the extra bar, instead, you do something like this, right? You charge it slightly, and then you still get the light hell sweep afterwards, which is insane, which is just so much fun to do, even just 1 or 2 extra hits after your super. Level 2 version is pretty much the same thing, except it's more badass. It launches them in the same way, though. Don't be fooled, even though it looks a little bit different. And then, yeah, no, those are his base supers. If you're in SBG, this is his level 3. Its range is pretty bad. It's 8 frames, and it looks really sick. I love how like funny the character's facial expression is as they get punched. But just like every other hidden gear, it restores all of your rev meter, does a ton of damage, and leaves you with less good Oki compared to his punch super. So something that I pretty much only use when I want the refund on the rev meter. I don't use it at the end of combos nearly as much because I can get more damage by using my other supers in different ways. Okay, so that was Kevin's specials, his normals, kind of everything you need to know to get started. Now let's get to the fun stuff, which is his combo game. So like I showed you in the beginning, Kevin hurts, right? He absolutely hurts. So one of the most important things is, in my opinion, executing on as high a damage as you can, because you're not going to get in as easily as characters who have like better anti-projectile tools. You don't have any DPs, so you're going to be on defense quite a bit, trying to just block people's jump-in attacks. And so like when you get your hits, you have to maximize the damage. So typically, right, for just kind of a basic heavy confirm, it was the same thing I showed earlier. I want to do heavy kick into feint, into heavy punch, right? And then you kind of get anything you want after that, right? So in most cases, your heavy combo starter is this, heavy kick into feint. And then your light combo starter is, if you're close, right, light kick gives you pretty much the same combos, just with different scaling afterwards, worse scaling afterwards. So I'll just do a couple of combos here as examples. I won't. This isn't like a full combo video, but I'll show you a couple of my favorite combos to go for. Okay, so now let's talk about Oki situation. So his combo damage is great, but it's the fact that he can mix you up pretty efficiently after he gets a huge combo just into another huge combo. So that's why he's such a good two-touch character. So a good example, right? I've already kind of previewed one of these before, is if you end with this, if you've launched them already, right, before you do this move, then you get a guaranteed Oki situation where your overhead can give you +7 in plus frames. So let me show you an example here. Right, so in this example, we'll jump, we'll light punch pretty late, and then right there you see I got a combo right afterwards. The heavy punch was able to connect. We'll jump, light punch, and +6, so a little bit slower in that situation, right? But I still was able to get Oki for some extra plus frames. This one will be perfect. Yep, here we go. And you can loop this, right? You can do the same thing over and over again as long as you get your timing right. If you don't get your timing right, if you're unsure if you're actually going to get the full +7 frames, because that's kind of the magic number we're going for, that's okay, right? If you think that you messed up the timing, you can still just go for like a crouching light attack or something like that. So we show an example of that. So we'll jump. When you hit a crouching light attack, you can get another launcher and continue the exact same pressure, right? His loops are just insane, absolutely insane. So that's one potential mix-up, right? One potential mix-up is after that situation, go for the jump, light punch, hell sweep, creeper, and then do the overhead afterwards, okay? Now, if you want to mix them up after that, if they see that coming, then instead, delay the low and go into the low, which is a full launcher as well, right? So already that's established a two-way mix-up. We have an overhead, we have a low. There's a third mix-up because you can do this exact same animation, cancel the start, and now if they do DP against you, you can block it and then get ridiculous damage. So, right, exact same situation, we'll just instead of going into a follow-up, we'll just cancel it. And then we get a crazy, crazy combo damage into the exact same situation again, right? So his mix-up potential on a hit is pretty remarkable, right? And again, you only need to hit him pretty much 2 times. If you have any super meter, you hit them twice, they're done, okay? Now, if 3-way mix-up wasn't good enough, let's go for a 4-way mix-up. Because we can do this. We can now cross them up, right? We can do a jump light punch, and then when we land, we'll do the avoid mine EX, and then we'll go on the other side of them, and we will be plus in their face, but now cross over on the other side of them. So we get like a heavy kick, break, and anything else we want, right? And this is just one Oki example. I'm starting with a kind of foundational one that you'll be going for pretty often. Right? So that's, not only do we have overhead, low, and nothing, we now have an option to cross them up on the other side. Okay? And obviously if you cross them on the other side, you can go for like a low light kick or something like that. You can cross them up and just go for like the overhead like this if you want to, for some kind of cheeky, easy damage. Now, they can get around this setup if they start to rev guard on their wake up, right? That's a very easy option they can do, right? So say I do this, I go bam, they rev guard it, and now I'm too far away to even get my close heavy punch, right? So I'm in a not great position. However, once you clock that they start doing that, right, they start waking up with their rev guard, you can instead go for your avoid mine directly into your command grab. So let me show you this. And again, this works in the corner, right? Boom, directly into the command grab for another potential mix-up, right? You just bam, go to right into the command grab. And if you're crazy and you have a lot of meter to spend, you go into the EX command grab afterwards, which, as we talked about, full ass launcher, into crazy damage just because they decided to try and block your mix-up. So it's nuts, right? This is an incredibly, incredibly powerful tool that Kevin has. I showed you an overhead, a low, a cross-up, a command grab option, right? A cross-up command grab option. You have pretty much, as well as a just do nothing, right? If they think you're gonna wake up with a DP. And if they wake up with a DP, you get 600 damage or plus. So this is just one of his many, many Oki options. Let me show you just one other one, because this one I find the timing to be even simpler. You can end with this right here. Boom, +6. There we go. Okay, so that's another example. If you are in SPG, you can end with that, and you're further away, right, which seems bad. However, you're still +7, right? So if you're +7 here, that means you get your light kick into a super afterwards. Obviously, it's a like for a new super, so not as easy as the other example, but still super fun. Okay, so that's another one that I like doing a lot. One more cool Oki setup in the corner is if you end a combo with the EX Hell Sweep, then you can do another Hell Sweep, right, a heavy one, and then break it, and then do the overhead, the low dodge attack, right, on their wake up. So let me show you this example here real quick. And as you can see, I'm +5 in their face, and if I'm +5, I get my stand light kick. Which obviously means I get my entire gambit of moves once again. All because they thought that I often it'll look like you drop the combo, right? That's usually what this looks like. If I just go like this, they're thinking I drop the combo. Nope, overhead. And in that case, I was +4 in their face, and so you can still get like a stand light. Right? Or even up to +6. +6 is the highest I've seen this setup go. So let me show you real quick our last thing before I just talk about his game plan. And that is an example of a 2-touch, okay? So let's say I do something like a jump in on Hotaru here. And she wants to DP me, okay? So I do a jump in, she'll try and DP, and I will punish her, and I'll be able to kill her in 2 touches with damage to spare. Right? Damage to spare. Ton of damage to spare. So, and that was just one of the many like mix-up options that he has, right? So, a great character to get damage, right? Start your mix-up, and then just steamroll after that. So yeah, and that's Kevin Rian. I think that the character is a blast to play. I think you guys should definitely check him out. If you have any combo routes that you personally like, or any Oki setups that you like more than what I've shown so far, then please share them with me. But yeah, that's his kind of general game plan, is that you want to do big damage, you want to get your combos started, and get your mix-up going pretty much as fast as you can, because he hurts so much, but his defense is fairly weak. All right, and that is the Kevin Rian Ultimate Beginner's Guide. So thank you guys so much for watching all the way till the end. Video was a lot of effort, so please feel free to leave a like and share it with others who might want to play Kevin or might want to check out Fatal Fury as a whole. This character is a blast. I think you definitely should give him a shot if you like what you've seen so far. And yeah, that'll be it for me. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.